My stepsister put safflower in my brown sugar water. During the college entrance examination, I felt an excruciating abdominal pain and was carried out of the examination room. My menstrual blood stained half of the stool red. My father didn't care. "Your sister is just a child." My stepmother with a big belly sneered. "No normal menstrual flow is that heavy. She might have some dirty disease." Grandma thought I was wasting money. Just for taking an exam I had to go to the doctor. She said, "You're always getting sick and spending money. Why don't you just die?" I died from excessive blood loss. The wonderful story begins now. When I opened my eyes I was back before my stepsister drugged me. I took away the brown sugar water and replaced it with the scented tea that my stepmother used for calming nerves. That night, the ambulance downstairs was there all night. In my last life I wouldn't have died so easily. Grandma, cherishing money, wouldn't let me stay in the hospital for observation. She forcefully pulled out my 4. She dragged me, who was anemic, and we walked 5 kilometers home. I've never heard of a woman dying from such a thing as bleeding. Besides, your stepmother is due to give birth in 2 months. Milk powder and diapers cost money. Why can't you think of the adults? The doctor suggested prescribing some amoxicillin to prevent infection. Grandma flatly refused and said there was some at home. Later, she took out the aspirin she used for treating thrombosis and forcefully fed it to me. Just the difference between the 2 words amoxicillin and aspirin cost me my life. Grandma was afraid I'd go see the doctor again. Before she left, she locked the door. These days girls are so delicate. Grandma locked me in but she forgot about me. The next day my father's company organized a 5-day team-building trip to Sanya. As the boss he could bring his family members. Everyone in the family went except me. The house was empty for 5 days. It was only when the neighbor smelled the stench and made a complaint that my body was discovered. My family didn't feel sad, regretful, or grieved. Because my stepmother gave birth prematurely, and the Sue family had a big fat grandson. Grandma even thought it was unlucky to hold a funeral at this juncture. She entrusted all the affairs after my death to an outsourcing team. Not a single relative attended from beginning to end. I couldn't figure out why, despite being cautious everywhere, trying to please them, not competing with my stepsister for favor, and not putting my father in a difficult position, I ended up like this. I was really unwilling. I really wanted to live my life again. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the eve of the college entrance examination. In this life I don't care about my father's love, my stepmother's love, or my grandma's love anymore. After the evening self-study, I was changing my shoes in the entrance. Ollie came back. My stepmother, with her big belly, stepped in front of me and stuffed the shoes into the cabinet. "Yin, be careful with your belly." Sure enough, my father was at home. He gave me a fierce look as if he wanted to kill me. "Suli, are you crippled and blind? She's my wife. Why should you ask your stepmother to serve you?" Shinyan was my father's first love. Less than half a year after my mother died, he brought her back, caring for her tenderly and spoiling her patiently. Even the daughter of her and her ex-husband was a precious daughter in my father's eyes. Seeing that I didn't move, my father shouted at me, "What are you standing there for? Go fetch water. It's your job to wash and massage your stepmother's feet during her pregnancy." Although I was busy with my senior year of high school studies, I never slacked off in doing this. One reason was that I understood how hard my father worked to earn money, and the other was that I wanted to get along peacefully with my stepmother. Most importantly, before my mother died, she told me, "If your father brings another woman into the house, remember not to cry, not to make a scene, and not to run away. Trust me, once you reach adulthood, everything will be okay." She left me an inheritance that was enough to shake my father's position in the company. But I didn't live to that day and was killed. I was too stupid and immersed in the act of a loving father and filial son in my last life. It won't be like that this time. My father was waiting for me to kneel down and wash his first love's feet. But I leaned lazily against the wall and said, "Is there no man in this family? Your wife is pregnant, and her feet are swollen like pig's trotters. Yet you ask your daughter to massage them. Is a man's only contribution to having a baby that one moment?" As I spoke, I made a gesture as if I had lost the Korean market. My father was stunned for a moment, hardly believing what he had just heard. Just as he was about to lose his temper, my stepmother stopped him. With 2 tears on the verge of falling, she said, "Honey, don't scare the child. The college entrance examination is tomorrow. Ollie dreams of going to Tsinghua University." My father sneered. "If she can get into Tsinghua, I'll change the name of this house to hers." My stepmother almost panicked when she heard about the house, but she quickly composed herself. Why are you arguing with the child? Besides, if Ollie goes to Tsinghua and settles in Beijing, this house won't be of use to her. Where to settle down isn't important. The key is that I won't make such a bet because I know I'll win." In the 3 years of high school, my stepmother always reported the bad news and not the good news about me. When I ranked among the top 3 in the grade, she didn't mention it. When I tore up the love letter from a gangster, she spread the word everywhere. When a gangster blocked me at the school gate every day, she didn't say a word but reported other things. So in my father's eyes, I was a rebellious girl with average grades and a confused understanding of relationships. Unexpectedly, after my father heard this, he waved his hand and said, "Fine. Then we'll buy a house in Beijing." My ears perked up. "Dad, I want a 5-bedroom, 1-living-room house." My stepmother was shocked. "Ali, you're still young. There's no need for such a big house, right?" "No. Let me count," I said. "Grandma will have 1 room." My stepmother said in a sarcastic tone, "You're so considerate of us old folks. I think a 6-bedroom, 1-living-room house would be just right. 1 room can be the baby room." My father hugged her and coaxed, "Don't worry, we're betting on Tsinghua, not some vocational school. He won't be able to pass the exam even in his next life." I quickly took out the gambling contract and handed over the pen, fearing that my father would go back on his word. "Dad, do you want to sign or make your mark?" My stepmother was completely speechless. After taking a shower, I found that my period had come, 10 days later than usual, and it happened to coincide with the college entrance examination. Later, I found out that Su Yaoyao had added progesterone to my milk. This stepsister is only 1 year younger than me, but she is as vicious as her mother. This time I went downstairs 10 minutes earlier than in my last life. Sure enough, through the door, I heard the conspiracy between my stepmother and her. That bitch Suli has been pretending to be an innocent girl for 3 years, and I can't find any fault with her. Today she can't pretend anymore. She wants a house? In her dreams. There was a rustling sound of a plastic bag coming from inside. "Mom, the saffron you asked for has been ground into powder." "Good. Be careful when you put it in. I always feel that this girl is a bit different." Su Yaoyao laughed. "How is that possible? I put progesterone tablets in Su Li's drink for half a month, and she didn't even notice." She was still annoyed that her period was late. My stepmother sneered. "I originally just wanted that little bitch to fail the exam and go to an ordinary technical school. Now she won't even be able to take the exam." I went to the kitchen earlier than Su Yaoyao. I poured out the cooked brown sugar water and replaced it with another cup of onsencha calming tea that my stepmother drank every day. I bet that stupid Su Yaoyao wouldn't be able to tell the difference. In the early morning, there was a heart-rending cry from a woman. "Honey, my stomach hurts so much. Save me, save me." I pushed the door open and saw my stepmother writhing on the sofa. There was a pool of blood under her and she was pregnant. My father held her hand and kept comforting her. "Yin Yin, don't be afraid. The ambulance is coming. Our baby will be born healthy." I couldn't help but sneer. That scumbag man. It's so obvious whether he loves or not. On the day my mother died, my father said he had something to do in the company and refused to come. It was my grandfather who went to the company with a kitchen knife and forced him to come. Seeing that my stepmother had no strength left in her cries, my grandmother pulled my father aside. "Protect the baby, protect the baby. I've been dreaming of a grandson for decades." "Mom, what are you saying now? Io, think about it. You're 46 years old, and Xin Yan is 40. In the future you may be fine, but can she still give birth?" My grandmother had said these words to my mother countless times. My father always turned a deaf ear. But when it came to Xin Yan, he couldn't stand it. "Mom, even if Yan doesn't have a child, I only love her. You love your grandson so much. Why don't you adopt one? I'll pay for it." My grandmother cursed and stepped aside. I deliberately showed a worried look. "Auntie is bleeding so much. Will she get an infection after giving birth?" The doctor said amoxicillin can reduce the inflammation. "What amoxicillin? I have some." My grandmother turned around and took out 2 pills and stuffed them into my stepmother's mouth. "Mom, you can't take medicine randomly." My father didn't stop her. "Nonsense. I take it every day and I'm fine. Your woman is so precious." When the ambulance arrived downstairs, the doctor was shocked when he saw the amount of bleeding. "Is the pregnant woman's platelet count normal? What's going on?" My father had memorized every examination parameter of his first love. "It's normal, it's all normal." The doctor asked again. "What about what she ate?" My mother didn't eat dinner. She only drank the calming tea. Su Yaoyao answered quickly. I knew my opportunity had come. "Sister, didn't you add something to Auntie's tea?" There was still some red powder in the gaps of Su Yaoyao's fingernails. My stepmother's pupils shrank. She guessed it, but she could only admit bad luck. My father stared at Su Yaoyao. "Yaoyao, what did you add? Speak up." Su Yaoyao's body trembled like a sieve. I don't know, Dad. I didn't mean to." The doctor repeated. "The family members should tell the truth. Otherwise, if something happens." My father slapped Su Yaoyao in the face. "Say it. It's saffron." The doctor was shocked. "You're trying to kill the pregnant woman." My father was about to hit her again. I took a step back and started to mediate. "Sister is just a child. Dad, don't you remember? You used to persuade me like this in my last life." My father raised his hand and slapped her again. 16 years old is not a child. Su Yaoyao's face was swollen. "It's not my fault. Woo-woo." My grandmother also fed the medicine. Hearing this, my grandmother took out a tablet of medicine. Don't talk nonsense. Mine is for reducing inflammation. The doctor was stunned. This is an anticoagulant. My father was so angry that he wanted to kill. Mom, I've told you many times. You can't take medicine randomly. You're so old. If you die, so be it. But this is your grandson in her belly. It's ridiculous. I went to the hospital because of taking the wrong medicine no less than 10 times. The most serious time I went into anaphylactic shock, and he didn't even say a word to my grandmother. I'll sacrifice my life for her. I'm an old woman. Is it okay if I sacrifice my life? My grandmother knelt on the ground and cried. Su Yaoyao also sobbed. My stepmother was in so much pain that she couldn't make a sound. My father was so anxious that his vest was soaked in sweat. Only I was indifferent. It turns out that slaps only hurt when they are slapped on the face of someone you care about. Everyone in my family went to the hospital and didn't come back all night. I had a good sleep. The next day, I went to the examination room on time. Without the saffron as medicine, I felt comfortable both physically and mentally. When writing the composition, my mind was blank and I could even think of the background music. My grades were originally among the top 3 in the grade. I gave it my all. I didn't miss any knowledge points and answered the questions with ease. At 8 o'clock in the evening, my father called me out of the blue. He said that the mother and child were safe, but he wouldn't be back for the time being because the child was only 5 or 6 caddies and was born prematurely and had to be put in the incubator. At this moment, it was under the blue light, soft and pink like a little kitten. Through the receiver, I could feel the man's excitement as he spoke. My grandmother asked beside him if the child's name had been chosen. My father said it had been chosen, and the child was named Su Li from Liming. It was chosen together with Yin Yin 20 years ago. I smiled and hung up the phone. I remembered that when I was a child, I asked my father what the character Li in my name meant. He was busy with a meeting and pushed me impatiently. What else could it mean? It means the story of the Limao Huan Taizu, the story of replacing the prince with the cat. I see. Unfortunately, my father thought his prince had come, but he didn't know that this was also a cat. Before my mother died, she told me, "Your father is useless." My father made his fortune in real estate. Once, when he went to the construction site for inspection, he was pressed on the inner thigh by a steel plate and passed out. The doctor said that his reproductive system was injured, and he needed to have his vas deferens removed or repaired. The latter would take some time, but the success rate was quite high. My mother didn't hesitate and chose to have his vas deferens removed. The operation was done without my father's knowledge. At that time, my mother was in the late stage of gastritis. She knew that my father had never forgotten his first love. So before she left, she did 2 things for me. First, she ensured that I was Su Yao's only child. Second, she transferred all the shares, property rights, and funds that belonged to my mother to me. She left a business card. After Ollie comes of age, go to lawyer he. My birthday is in August. There are still 2 months to go. The college entrance examination is over. It's not okay for me to find excuses not to go to the hospital anymore. As soon as I arrived at the door of the delivery room, I heard my stepmother coquettishly saying to my father, "Husband, I've given birth to our son, but why are my feet still swollen? Let mom massage them for you." How can mom do such a delicate job? But Ali's massage is really comfortable. It's a pity that she's the busiest now. The exam is over. What is she so busy for? My father took out his phone. "I'll make her come and serve you." Goodness. He wanted me to serve my stepmother during her confinement. The next moment, the caller ID lit up. "I see, Dad." I hung up the phone. "Okay, I'll show you how good I am at this job." When I rushed to the hospital with a lot of things, my father was even a little shocked. "Didn't I tell you to come right away? Why?" He paused and looked at the group of people following me and the cameras they were carrying. "You brought so many photographers." I ignored him. I put down 2 packs of Keisher diapers, 2 cans of milk powder, a belly band, and a stainless steel wash basin in front of the camera. "Is it recording? Brother Wong, can you take a profile shot of me?" "It's recording. How about a back shot?" "It doesn't matter. Society is like a huge rooster that lays eggs, the fighter among roosters." After watching it 3 times, my father finally couldn't help but pull me aside. "Su Li, what on earth do you want?" "Oh, Dad, we're standing too far away. The microphone can't pick up our voices." The next moment, I used a megaphone and said in a loud voice, "I'm here to serve my stepmother during her confinement." "Don't worry, stepmother." A deep female voice sounded in the ward. After that, I explained in a low voice, "Dad, the teacher asked us to make a vlog after the college entrance examination, and it will be shown at the teacher appreciation banquet." My father's face turned red and then white. If it got out that a daughter was serving her stepmother during confinement, where would his face be? And it was going to be shown at the teacher appreciation banquet. He waved his hand to shoo me away. "I don't need you. Take them away quickly." I looked disappointed. "So you don't need me to serve her today? Or you don't need me to serve her at all? It's very meaningful material. How about I make an appointment some other time? By the way, Dad, I also bought books and learned 35 kinds of postpartum massage techniques." I lied. In fact, I read about the postpartum care of sows. My father was so annoyed that his ears were ringing. "It's so noisy. Get out." The ward door closed mercilessly in front of me. I thought that he would never let me massage my stepmother for the rest of his life. I didn't do it, so it fell on Su Yaoyao. My father ordered, and she couldn't refuse. After all, I had been massaging for most of my senior year of high school, and she was only in the second year of high school. How could she be as busy as me? Besides, Xin Yan was her biological mother. Every time I saw Su Yaoyao's red wrists, I couldn't help but fan the flames. Sister, your hands are so red. Dad and the others will be heartbroken if they see this. It's different for me. They won't even let me touch her. You're so capable. I really envy people who are good at this kind of work. Unlike me, I just ate and drank after the college entrance examination. As expected, after Su Yaoyao entered the room, she smashed half of the things on the wall. Am I a nanny? Weren't these dirty jobs Su Li's before? Why are they thrown at me? Do you know that I was shaking when I took the final exam today? My stepmother didn't know that it was easier for a mother and daughter to be estranged than a father and daughter. She spent 3 years making my father hate me, but it only took me 3 days to drive Su Yaoyao crazy. On the day my stepmother and my little brother were discharged from the hospital, my grandmother was sent back to the countryside. I got 722 points in the college entrance examination, ranking first in the city. Su Yaoyao only got 501 points in the final exam, dropping 200 places. My stepmother lost face and scolded her in front of relatives and friends, saying that she wasn't cut out for studying, that she didn't know how to work hard, and that was such a good sister like me as an example, she didn't know how to ask for advice. Su Yaoyao's eyes turned red, looking wronged. Auntie, you've wronged my sister. I suddenly spoke up for her. Yaoyao only got 72 points in Chinese because she didn't finish the composition. Her hand cramped halfway through the exam. The subtext was that it was because of massaging for my stepmother. As soon as I said this, Su Yaoyao's eyes became even redder. Being wronged is silent, but comfort and understanding can make her burst into tears. I continued. Since my little brother was born, have you ever given even a little of your attention to my sister? She massaged your feet until her wrists were red. At that time, did you think of the daughter who was trying to please you, or the little son in the swaddling clothes? These words hit Su Yaoyao right in the heart. She burst into tears in front of a group of adults. The people who were Donong teasing, the little son all went to comfort the elder sister. My stepmother's reputation for favoring boys over girls spread. As time passed, Su Yaoyao also believed it. After that day, Su Yaoyao gradually sided with me. I gave her tassel earrings, tassel headbands, and tassel necklaces. Children like Jingli things. Sure enough, when she was taking care of her little brother, she was always pulled at. Are you going to Tsinghua University? She asked. Yes. What's wrong? My mother asked me to find a way to steal your admission ticket and password and change your volunteer. That's a despicable method. It was exactly what I expected. I smiled. Then why are you telling me this? My mother plans to use the money for your house to set up an education fund for her son. Su Yaoyao said as she tied her hair with the tassel hair tie I gave her. I showed a concerned look. Did Auntie hit you? It's okay. If she hits me, I'll hit her son. This girl is really crazy. There was a full moon banquet at home. The people attending this event are not only relatives and friends, but also my father's business partners from various industries. Su Yaoyao said that her mother had calculated that there was 8 million in the family's current liquid assets. If an education fund were established, the house I was expecting would be out of my reach. My father, having finished dealing with 2 clients, was dragged over by my stepmother. When he saw me, Yin Wei felt rather proud and stepped onto the stage. My stepmother planned to imitate others and hold a grabbing zhou ceremony. On the table were gold bars, a gold abacus, a gold medal, and a gilded certificate engraved with education fund. I was speechless. The calculations were so obvious that I could hear them even in my supposed Beijing house. My father, after entertaining the clients, was dragged by my stepmother. My stepmother planned to imitate others and hold a zhuazhou ceremony. There were gold bars, a gold abacus, a gold medal, and a gilded certificate on the table, with education fund engraved on it. I was really speechless. The way they schemed was so blatant that I could sense it even when I thought about my house in Beijing. My father, after dealing with the clients, was pulled by my stepmother. My stepmother intended to follow others and hold a grabbing zhou event. On the table were gold bars, a gold abacus, a gold medal, and a certificate inlaid with gold, on which education fund was engraved. I was truly speechless. Their plans were so obvious that I could hear them even when I thought about my house in Beijing. My father was dragged by my stepmother after finishing his socializing with the clients. When he saw me, Yin Wei felt rather proud and stepped onto the stage. My stepmother planned to hold a grabbing zhou ceremony like others. There were gold bars, a gold abacus, a gold medal, and a certificate inlaid with gold on the table, on which education fund was engraved. I was really annoyed by their obvious calculations. Suddenly, a scream came from the crowd. Mrs. Su fainted. My stepmother had a serious illness. During that time, she tried to persuade my father. Ali is still young. It's not too late to buy the house when she gets married. It can just be used as a wedding house. I shook my head. Auntie, it takes 1 year to decorate the house and 3 years to air it out. It's just the right time to buy it now. When I mentioned the house too often, my father got annoyed. Yin, it's just a house. Since the words have been said, where will my face be if I don't buy it? This was the first time I saw my father being stern with his first love. Then what about me and our son? My stepmother cried. In fact, my father and his first love hadn't got married yet. My stepmother's ex-husband had committed a crime and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Her ex-husband was a rascal and refused to divorce her, so nominally, they were still husband and wife. Strictly speaking, my father was the third party who destroyed their marriage. Su Yaoyao had a tendency to abuse. She would choke her little brother when no one was paying attention, watching his face turn from white to red and then purple. She would scratch words on the tender skin that was almost bleeding, and she would prick the unfused cranial suture with a needle. I had known this because I had been a victim too. The injuries of the little guy were finally discovered by my stepmother. These days, she had been secretly inquiring about the second child training camp. I let her find out. Whether it was the paper materials or the electronic ones, some parents said that since they sent the children who resisted having a second child to be reformed, their homes had become much quieter. After a few months or years when the children came back, they were as obedient as a different person. They would take the initiative to wash clothes and cook for their younger siblings, and they would be like a good example, not competing for anything. My stepmother was gradually falling into the trap. I knew she was tempted. She didn't know that these people were like those who escape legal punishment like Yang Yongxin. They used torture methods such as electric shock and corporal punishment to make the children submit to the second child. Su Yaoyao deserved to be sent there. 2 days later, my father went on a business trip. That night, there was a heavy rainstorm. In my room, I saw Su Yao being dragged into a car by several burly men. Her screams pierced through the window. My methods might be disgusting, but they were no more disgusting than you and that one guy. In fact, after the college entrance examination, I had been investigating whose son Su Li was. Since my stepmother came to my home, she had been acting like a virtuous woman and rarely went out alone with other men. However, my father often sent the driver to pick her up for a date. One day, when I went downstairs to get some water, I saw my father looking for hangover medicine. "Dad, did you go to a candlelit dinner again?" "What candlelit dinner?" He swallowed the medicine. "Since your aunt got pregnant, we haven't gone out alone." In a flash of inspiration, I understood. I remembered that my father's car appeared downstairs no less than 5 times a month, and each time she was out for 2 hours. It turned out that my stepmother had an affair with the driver. After sorting out my thoughts, I couldn't help but sigh. He was so bold. Uncle Wang drove my father's car, earned my father's money, slept with my father's woman, and fathered a child with her. This was exactly what the old saying the Deng Xia Hei, hidden danger under one's nose, meant. With the target identified, it was only a matter of time to gather evidence. I easily got Uncle Wang's hair and successfully installed a camera in the car. If this was exposed, my father's mood would surely be very bad. I had to urge him to buy the house in Beijing quickly. At dinner, I took out my admission notice from Tsinghua University. Before I could say anything, my father brought up the matter. "I've seen the house you chose. It's not far from Tsinghua University, and it's fully decorated. You can just move in with your bags." He put the bank card on the table and pushed it towards me. "Sign the contract as soon as possible. Once you buy it, don't waste it. You should also stay there often during college." My stepmother was so angry that she pinched the baby in her arms. "All you do is cry. Nothing in this family belongs to you." My father was also angry and snatched the baby away. "Xinyan, why are you acting like a shrew now? If I don't act like a shrew, will I end up like your late wife, slaving away for half a lifetime and getting nothing?" My stepmother looked at me with a vicious smile. "Su Li, you don't know, do you? The day before your mother died, we were sleeping together." I didn't back down. I walked straight up to my stepmother, grabbed her hair and forced her to look at me. "What about you? Who else have you slept with besides my father?" My stepmother was stunned for a moment, pushed me away and cursed, "You're crazy." Then she turned and left, leaving my father drinking alone. When I went downstairs again, he was already talking nonsense. "Ali, do you think Dad was wrong? Your mother was such a good person. Why didn't I cherish her? What's the use of finding my first love? I really suspect that Xinyan is with me just for my money." I shook my head. "No, Dad. There's also your driver, Uncle Wang." After that day, my father and his first love started a cold war. Great, I could have a quiet birthday. I bought a cake for myself and ate it in front of my mother's tomb while reporting what had happened. I laughed. Dad still doesn't know that he's infertile. He's been happy thinking he had a son in his old age. By the way, Mom, do you know whose son that child is? It's Uncle Wang's. I've got the report. When do you think is a good time to make it public? And Grandma, she used to blame you for not giving birth to a grandson. Now she's been sent back to the countryside by the one who gave birth to a grandson. You haven't seen Su Yaoyao, have you? Well, it doesn't matter. Finally, I sighed. I'm an adult now, Mom. After eating this cake, I'll go and open the gift you left me. Lawyer, he was my mother's college classmate. After chatting with him for half an hour, I was still a bit stunned. Wait, Uncle He. You mean my mother left me 80 million? After confirming it 3 times, I still couldn't believe it. 80 million was a huge sum of money for me. Yes. Your mother applied for a liquidation of the couple's property before she died. She had 5 million in liquid assets, 2 houses and 40% of the company's shares. The houses have been transferred to your name immediately. The shares are held on your behalf by your father. Now that you're an adult, as for the liquid assets, I have to say that your mother had a really good eye for investment. The shares she entrusted the fund manager to hold have increased in value by no less than 10 times. After deducting the commission, it's about 80 million. I wiped the saliva from my mouth. The key was that the house where my father and his first love lived was also in my name on the property certificate. I finally understood what you meant by endure until adulthood. It means that I can pack their things and kick them out of my house at any time. I asked lawyer he to help me sell the company's shares at a low price. My mother said that the real estate industry had been on the decline, but my father stubbornly refused to transform the company because a series of numbers 829 in the company's code was his first love's birthday. Coincidentally, her birthday was in 2 days, and I had to prepare a big birthday gift. My stepmother probably also wanted to make a fortune on her birthday. At night, she couldn't wait and tried to coax my father into her arms. She flirted with him under the dining table. I remained expressionless and put a piece of durian skin on my foot. As expected, she stepped on it. It was proven that I couldn't have any illusions about my father. With just one night of whispering in his ear, she managed to get my father to give away half of his wealth. My father not only promised to buy her bags and jewelry, but also promised to buy a school district house for her son after the year-end dividend. At night, it was the birthday party of my father's first love. Before going there, I bought a small toy. As soon as I arrived at the banquet hall, I saw my stepmother hugging my father and greeting the guests, with the driver, Uncle Wong, helping behind them. Ali is here. My stepmother was in a good mood and greeted me warmly. Is that a gift for me in your hand? Yes. It looked interesting, so I bought it for Aunt Shun. I opened it in front of her. It was a face recognition attendance machine. I demonstrated it. When my face was in front of it, it recognized me. The machine announced, D, the universe's most beautiful girl card. It was so interesting. My stepmother also wanted to try. D, the longevity star whose life is longer than her legs card. Uncle Wong laughed. When his face was in the recognition frame, it announced, D, old Wong card. Other guests passing by also came to join in the fun. They toasted my father. Mr. Su, have you changed your business to technology? My father hugged his first love and socialized. Mr. Lee, you're joking. It's just a child's toy, just for fun. Then let us have a look. My father took it from my stepmother. When he looked down, a mechanical voice suddenly sounded. 1D, the cuckold card. The whole hall fell silent. Uncle Wong tried to smooth things over. D, old Wong card. My father's face showed a complex expression. In the chaos, I saw my stepmother and Uncle Wong exchange a glance and quickly look away, looking guilty. Later, someone came out to mediate, and the little episode was over. The MC was hosting on the stage. My stepmother went on stage and read a 300-word speech. She didn't hide her love for my father and even planned their next life. My father, like a stubborn young man, blushed. Finally, my stepmother said, I've been in love with Io for 21 years. We wasted 15 years apart. Fortunately, fate brought us together again. To witness this, I specially made a video. When the big screen lit up, chaos started in the hall. The video was taken in the passenger seat of an Audi. My stepmother's face was facing the camera, and she looked flushed. The man only showed the back of his head, and there was a bald spot on it. The guests in the hall started to retch even before the meal was served. My stepmother tried to turn it off in a flurry, but she only turned off the monitor, and the sound was still playing. When will our son call me dad? Can you afford to raise him? The staff came out and turned off the video. My father didn't say a word. When he stood up, he stumbled. The driver, Uncle Wong, knelt down. Mr. Su, I was wrong. It was this woman who seduced me. I can't lose this job. You sponsor my daughter's tuition. Please. My stepmother also knelt down. Husband, you said when you were young that if I were unfaithful, you would leave me. How can you forget? My father got angrier and angrier. Those words he said when he was infatuated were just words, but she really did it. Get out of my way. My father kicked them both away. The jade bracelet on my stepmother's hand hit the ground and broke into 3 pieces. My father watched and suddenly started crying. This jade bracelet was a family heirloom of the Su family. My mother had been married to him for 15 years, and he had never taken it out. Grandma even said that my mother didn't deserve it because she couldn't give birth to a son. Now it was gone. I casually took a photo and sent it to Grandma. Grandma, it seems that the Su family's inheritance can't be passed on. I didn't expect that a few days after the birthday party, my father made up with his first love. It was really incredible. I silently prayed to God to keep this perfect match together, and not let them harm other middle-aged and elderly people. In the afternoon, I directly found a moving company and a locksmith. In front of Shun Yen, I packed up their things and threw them out. Suli was yelling behind me, Your father won't drive me away. Who do you think you are? How dare you throw my things out? I took out the property certificate with my name on it. Miss Shun, don't talk nonsense. Even if I throw you out, Suli won't bat an eyelid. She was driven crazy by me and lay on the ground. Anyway, I won't leave until your father comes. I stopped the moving guys. You said it's 80 yuan for big items and 40 yuan for small items. Look at this, is she a big item or a small item? When she realized I was insulting her, she cursed. You're a bitch. Your whole family are bitches. I recorded her words and called the police. With solid evidence, the police asked Shin Yen to apologize to me and pay me 501 yuan as mental damage compensation. So you see, it's better not to use dirty words when you curse others. After being kicked out of the house, my father rented a small apartment near the company. His green hat made him a laughingstock in the industry. His business suffered serious losses, and his quality of life plummeted. A few days later, the video of the birthday party finally reached our hometown. Someone showed it to my grandma. When she saw the two white figures entangled together, she had a stroke and was sent to the hospital. The doctor said that no amount of aspirin could cure her old blood clots. My father didn't have time to visit her. His company was in trouble because I sold 46% of the shares at a low price to his rival. He had to work overtime until midnight every day. It was only a matter of time before the company went bankrupt. I definitely wouldn't visit her either. After all, Tsinghua University was about to start. I had to find time to take care of my 5-bedroom house. I also had to write a note and post it on the school forum. Well-decorated house for rent at a low price. Only handsome guys and beautiful girls from Tsinghua are welcome to rent it. By the way, I heard that Ms. Shen couldn't afford the fees for the second child training camp next month, so Su Yaya would be out soon. The end.